page. I'll refresh that. Feeling like a bit of a rooster today, just like clicky views. Fired up. Why is sushi lagging today? That's a great question. Watching on Periscope, video not showing YouTube for some reason. Oh, not sure why. Block Dash. It's going now, according to the producer. So we're going to go ahead and say we're back on Periscope. By the way, if you guys are tuning in from Cryptocurrency Investing on Facebook, good to see you. Welcome. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. And really happy to have you here today. We got TradingView in the house. Welcome back, TradingView. If you guys are watching from over there, you can chat with us there. The producer is watching all chats, and he will forward to me. I would usually have them up going forward, but it's a lot for the screens and the throughput, so we're just doing a little relay system. So if you have any coin requests, chart requests, you can post them now anytime throughout the show, and the producer will relay them to me in the YouTube chat, which I am watching carefully. If you haven't already and you want to like us on YouTube, maybe subscribe to our channel. Let us know that we're doing all the right things. That's always much appreciated. You can follow myself on Twitter at randomtask555 or at Real Hero Labs. And that's about it for social plugs today. You see, we got 22 here in the chat. YouTube streaming seems to be shitting the bed tonight. Oh no, Osiris. Hope that that's not persistent today. Unfortunately, there are certain things that are out of our control. Some of those include bandwidth on the internet itself, but usually pretty good. We've got 1080p running lately, smooth as butter. So let's take a look. I mean, Badger just looks super bullish. So this is where I pay myself because it's been a great trade, and I will not grow my account if I don't get good at paying myself. This went further than I expected, faster than I expected. I looked at it today. I said, holy crap, that thing is taking over my portfolio. So I cut it in half. The other half is still staking. We'll see where this lands, you know, even from here. The next time I can be interested somewhere down in this area, if we're going to consolidate, maybe we just keep going. But typically these kinds of moves end vertical, and then you get this kind of close today maybe, and then we're going to consolidate, and everyone will forget about Badger for a little while, and then it will maybe break out again. And that's the kind of next trade for me. I could close more than half, but again, the gas fees today are insane. Closing that requires 3. Oh, Aunt Chris just asked me to do bow from the Telegram. That just popped up, so I would check that out. 3 transactions, and many of them are smart contract heavy. So it was like $400 to withdraw and sell this Badger today, the half that I had to sell. So costly. Let's take a look at the fees right now. They have cooled down a little bit. I'll drag this over here. If you guys didn't know, you can go to gasnow.org. It's really accurate price feeds on local gas. Sometimes Uniswap is not accurate. It'll recommend a price that's either too high or too low. There's nothing more annoying than setting up a trade and then you put in mid-gas and it's like 2 hours to complete. So if you want to go fast, you want to check this. Sometimes this says like 80 and Uniswap's offering me like 150 as a base. So this thing has saved me a lot of money and pain and suffering. So if you want to go to gasnow.org, that's free. It's cool. Let's check the Dixie today. I know it's boring. It's not crypto, but it's important. I mean, it's so important. As you can see, the entire 2017 bull market was just this rally. And as soon as, you know, this happened, I mean, crypto basically topped right through here and then just had a big, nasty bear market. And the 2020 bull market was another big downtrend. So is it all just a ruse and we're really just inverted to the Dixie? Maybe. Probably not. But this week we've been rallying right along with it. But check this out. This is a chart we put out on Twitter earlier this week where the last time that we got bullish market structure on the Dixie was in September 2020 last year. And it had a nice little 4-day rally. Looked like some inverse head and shoulders type, you know, bullish market structure breakout, but it all really just amounted to a bearish throwback level here. So I was speculating this week after we confirmed this level that maybe we're just going to go and have a little bearish throwback there. Sure enough, looks like we did. In fact, it got front run. So bearish. I believe they announced something like $1.8 trillion in stimulus that the Dems are going to pass through the House and the Senate, basically without asking because they don't have to anymore. So that's probably pretty good for things traded against USD as we get more dilution in the currency and yada, yada, yada. Same old story. I don't know that that will stop. it's COVID, it's this, it's that, but at the end of the day, it's just sort of been foretold by people smarter than me, like Andreas Antonopoulos, one of my heroes, guy that got me involved in crypto when he did his Joe Rogan podcast interview. So, he would basically speculate that the printing was going to come no matter what the scenario was. It's just a thing that has to happen. There's your real conspiracy. Was COVID just a thing to let us print the money? We needed a cover to print trillions of dollars. I don't know. Probably not. That's crazy talk. But you never know. So that's the Dixie. This is like kind of a bullish throwback level, so it's not bearish yet. Obviously, the trend is down. This does not change that, but we did have a little mini inner trend reversal here. So I'll be watching this over the weekend through next week. You want to see this bleed out if you want to have a continued bull market for Bitcoin. You do not want to see this break above here and get really rally-like. That's going to cause headaches for the bulls in crypto, most likely. I guess they could rally together. It just seems super improbable. So keep that in mind. Let's close this because that's about as much 4x as I can handle for 1 month. And let's take a look at what everyone really should be watching, which is Ethereum. Just broke to all-time highs the other day right here on Monday. Was it Tuesday? Tuesday. And we're pushing retest. Now, here's what I want to point out. We did not touch the pump chaser zone, right? You get that rally up, come back down, and we always talk about this. If you front run the 382, very bullish, typically. That usually on any regular asset, you'll get that 382 check, maybe even a little deeper, at least on a bull trend, and then you're going to continue. The fact that it front ran, and not just by a little bit, by like, I don't know the dollar amount, percentage amount, but like a significant visual amount. And usually the front runs are like just minuscule. So this is pretty bullish. Came right up into this fib extension level today that I've been watching and talking about, and that's the 618 off of the initial impulse down here. And, you can see these things are not random. Magically, that's exactly where the candle closed today on the 4-hour and pulled back. And we are now at this bullish throwback level, which is exactly where I would be looking to long if I'm trying to ride this trend, right? Riding the trend by buying the bullish throwbacks, not by buying after it starts to rally, because that's how you can get squeezed out of a good position. So decent little opportunity here at about 1700 today. But given the proximity to this level, as well as, let's not lose sight of the CME listing of ETH futures on Monday. You can buy those. You can also sell them. You can short that. And there's a ton of money that is now going to be able to participate in Ethereum one way or the other. It's a major fundamental event. And it's not the kind of thing where I want to load up on leverage or any kind of adding to exposure into that event, even though on the whole, I think it's bullish. I think it's good news as far as liquidity goes and access. But it's not the kind of thing where I'm like, ooh, as soon as Monday happens, suddenly there's way more money coming in. It's possible. And given the market and the fact that this is in price discovery and volume generally is doing quite well, I'm inclined to think that it is going to be a bullish catalyst. I'm just not going to bet on it. I'm going to wait and let it play out. My spot will be fine. My alts will be fine. I'm not really planning to touch those too much, at least based on that. But yeah, caution for major fundamental events just because you don't know. And if it comes out and it's bullish and it's super bullish, cool. Big pump up, buy a retrace, go. But if it comes out and they decide that, $500 million want to jump onto the short side to hedge their spot exposure, what they couldn't do before, and suddenly, and then, maybe now we're talking about reload zones. What would you do if Ethereum dropped to 1,450? Prices not seen in 5 days. It would be really bearish for a lot of people. They would see values in their portfolio plummet. Altcoins would come back into reload zones or pump chaser zones. And at the end of the day, that would be a place where a trader like myself with this strategy would suddenly be like, hey, now there's a place where I can think about longs. But if I load up here, all I'm going to be thinking about doing down here is getting out, saying, oh, I fucked up. I can't lose anymore. Got to protect capital, blah, blah, blah. So to avoid that silliness, I will wait for any new positions. Make no mistake about it. I am balls deep in crypto right now. So not too worried about adding, especially at the highs with that event coming on the Monday. What do you think about the pros, brother? How about DHT? We'll take a look at DHT. Don't bother with MetaMask anymore. Not worth it buying coins for any less than 1K. Yeah, it's too bad because ETH network has clogged up so badly that it's really pricing out most people. I'm sure a lot of people watching today are like, I can't trade that. That's ridiculous. $100 fees, $200 fees. If you're interacting with a smart contract, add to that. If you're interacting with staking contracts, add to that. And, farming rewards. Ooh, yay. I got $600 in farming rewards. Oh no, withdrawing and claiming them cost me $350. So it is pretty unfortunate. And it further to the point of why I'm so bullish on alternatives or solutions that complement Ethereum, help it scale. There's a lot of them. I think any other blockchain that's super fast, lots of throughput, that could be interoperable, perhaps via Atom or Polkadot, what have you. Those blockchains I'm super bullish on. I think the leading one in that regard. Oh, Ren pulling back a little today. I sold a third of my Ren bag last night, somewhere in this, and then I set another sell here. But alas, it did not hit. That's okay. Let's go see. Again, selling to take profit, not to call tops. I think that's an important distinction to make. I have a feeling Ren will do much more. I mean, look at the volume growing here. But I like to rotate. And so when I'm buying Ren off the lows and it gets up into this big FU rally, I start to rotate a bit. Holding 1/3 probably to the new highs. If we can make it there, let's see Solana. Solana is just insanity right now. Ooh, coming into a chaos level and a 382 throwback on the Bitcoin pair. This could be an area to think about paying myself. But on the Solana USDT, it's not really a trade bag for me. It's more of a hold at this point. I just think longer term, I'm so bullish on this one. I'm not really looking to sell. In fact, all I want is more of this one. So if we get back to a level like this during some kind of craziness or wherever we end up, dips for me, buying, not as worried about selling this one. I just think it's such incredible backing, the scope of what they've built, and then timeliness, fees, very low, speed, very high, backing, very strong. And that's what we need right now. There's a ton of low fee, high throughput options out there, but not all of them have the same penetration, backing, and connections that Solana has. So, they're not all the same. They may all get a nice rally, but I won't hold all of them as perhaps blindly and effortlessly as I will hold this one. It's coming into a low time frame chaos level, which you can see just got front run a little bit. So again, generally as a trader, this is where I am looking to shave some off, because look, if we do have any kind of pullback, and we had those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even in the last month, amidst to the bullishness. But if everyone, if you're really heavily exposed to altcoins, especially if you got into them late, you're setting yourself up to be in an emotional state during these pullbacks. So when we get into these rallies where I'm like, holy shit, I can't believe it. This is insane. Every time I blink, my portfolio goes up again. I've trained myself to sort of, my natural instinct is to be like, what can I sell? What can I trim? What can I take off the table? Put it into stables, put it into Ethereum, put it into Bitcoin, whatever. And then if there's a pullback, which eventually there always will be, even if it's from a higher level, I'm flush and ready to buy, instead of like, oh no, I just took a 27% haircut, I better sell. And then you end up selling the dips instead of loading back up. So if I haven't conveyed that strategy that I use to you yet, now I have. Yeah, really strong. I mean, guys, everything's just going a little insane today and this week, which is great. And it does make it hard. It makes it harder. You see, basically my serum trade is basically complete. But because of the crazy rally that's going on with Uniswap and SushiSwap and now AirSwap even today just popped like incredibly. I have to clean up this chart because it's a couple weeks since I was talking about it, and the chart is just in the way of itself now. But I mean, look at this thing. Big fat green candle today, and then it's like everyone's like, oh yeah, that's a DEX too. They have a swap protocol. They should be pumping. Oh yeah, now they are. But on the chart, this setup came in weeks ago, and now it's just catching a narrative to drive it. And the interesting thing is this level that was the buy for me came in yesterday as well. So a lot of opportunity cost perhaps avoided, but it's impossible to know that, you know? Setups come in, I just got to take them. Sometimes they let sit for a while, go against you, whatever. But AirSwap's catching a bid today, and this is a monsters level up here. So definitely paying thyself in the 900s. If it goes there, we're kind of in this fib extension zone right now. So we'll see if this is like a consolidation area for now. Point about SRM though, Serum, is there's this incredible narrative right now in the market around those other ones I named. And so I'm not willing to, you know, like I traded this, rebought some, didn't actually sell any here. Didn't have my orders working, but you know, given what Sushi and Uni and everything else is doing, I just don't see the highs holding this. You know, we're in a market where all of those names over periods of weeks are just flying to new highs into price discovery. I am not going to bet against Serum joining that party. So I am holding through the remainder of that position fairly, you know, fairly aggressively. I'm not buying up here, but I'm just not rushing to sell into that take profit. Here's an interesting point. We are coming up to all-time highs on the altcoin total market cap. And that's really exciting. You know, when Bitcoin broke its all-time high right here back in early 2017, that kicked off, you know, the altcoin rally of 2017. And even though there was some downs throughout that year, looking back, it was super easy, right? It was like, oh my God, they just all mooned. New coins added, coins existing going up, Ethereum obviously driving a huge amount of this. And Bitcoin breaks all-time high. What comes next? Could it be the same? I hope so. Might be. Look at this volume. I mean, this is insanity. Talk about DeFi. Talk about use cases. No more vaporware 2017. So I would be very hard-pressed if someone came up to me and said, this is the top. We will not surpass this. I would say, well, that sounds stupid. It's possible, but come on. Not buying that. So I think anything can happen, midterm, short term, whatever. But if you're telling me we're never going to surpass $474 billion total market cap for altcoins, I would say I don't believe you. Will Ferrell GIF, insert here. Yeah, so we'll see. That could happen this weekend. That could very well happen this weekend. Let's go zooming in. It almost happened today. Oh my God, it was $7 billion away from happening today. Oh, so exciting. So when that happens, you know, there's like an entire market-wide price discovery. And that should accelerate things, could accelerate things. No point in labeling it on probabilities, but it will likely be fucking exciting. For macro, let's look at the dominance. Just want to get through these guys because once we get into the coin chart request kind of stuff, we just get lost in the depths of charts, and that's great. But then I forget what the hell all these charts are. So let's take a look here. Bitcoin dominance. There it is. So yeah, it's plummeting again, which is really good news for altcoins. This is alt season, guys. And, you know, shout out to Don Crypto, D-A-A-N. I don't know how you pronounce that. On Twitter. And he speculated basically like a fractal of this that basically just pointed to this, and then whoosh, alt season question mark. And we're kind of getting that, right? The down, up, whoosh. That was a terrible reenactment of his chart. It was much more beautiful, but that's it, right? And when the cat's out of the bag, it gets out of the bag pretty quick and it runs pretty hard. So I want to show you my higher time frame view on the weekly views. This is what I'm looking at for Bitcoin dominance midterm. Let's take a look at that because that's probably a better view. So today was a big day because we've officially broken down from the 20-week moving average, which is, you know, pretty good level to be below if you want to be in a Bitcoin, or excuse me, altcoin rally. You know, summer 2020, as soon as we broke below that, we actually gapped lower and then it was off. Crazy bubble thing. Dominance is still higher than it was at peak summer. So it should, you know, stands to reason. And I think, you know, whether Bitcoin wakes up here and squeezes us back up a little bit and has its own next leg, whatever, but however this ages, you know, whether it's oh no, Bitcoin's back. Oh, altcoins are back. Oh no, Bitcoin's back. Like, I think the trend is down for dominance. I think DeFi is too powerful. I think Ethereum and all the other competitors that are going to come along, speed it up, complement the network, help it out. All of that is growing at an insane pace, and the need and the demand is incredibly high. Bitcoin is wrapped on Ethereum. It's used in DeFi. How much DeFi and all that crap is wrapped on Bitcoin? That's what I thought. So dominance should be falling. It should be falling incredibly low. I think 50% is reasonable. I think 50% is high in the grand scheme of how I see all the different parts of crypto unfolding. But we'll just see. We'll see where this wants to go. If it wants to go, who knows? Bitcoin could be worth whatever, $500,000 and still be at 39%. Like, there's no reason that Bitcoin can't go up in price while the other stuff races with it. But that's just moon boy talk. Let's look at this chart, because this chart is going to drive that dominance down if it does what it looks like it's going to do. I mean, look here. It's a little messy down there, but you've got this huge range from the previous all-time highs down to the lows, 2-year bear kind of bottom formation, and we just broke up. And look at this volume. I mean, the volume on this thing, I'm going to talk about it every day because it's a weekly, so it doesn't go very far in a week. But this is not insignificant. This marks a very pronounced sort of, here we are, we're coming out, this is the breakout, oh my God, it's happening, blah, blah, blah. Big positions being taken. The highest volume ever recorded on a weekly. And that was the week where we broke, put the bottom in the market basically right here. Actually, it was the week following, so, sue me. But if you look at that and then tell me that that's the top, I don't believe you. And in that case, where's our upside? I might actually only, for the first time in a little while, trim a little bit of ETH at this level into Bitcoin. I might do that. That's about the best I can do as far as thinking, what am I going to do with my Ethereum that's not just buy more and hold. It's maybe trading some to Bitcoin here. But if that level gets resolved too, and who knows how this plays out, people be like, well, I don't think it will do that. We already checked this level and the cat's out of the bag. Like I said, big strong breakout, DeFi, yeah. But whatever this looks like, when that level breaks, it's off to the races. We got another level up here. We got another level up here. I mean, this is dominance losing, Bitcoin dominance coming out of the market. So it's a very exciting time. And having said that, I still think about things like skimming parts of bags when they show these kinds of charts, because, this won't be a straight line up. Most likely, as we see a straight line up. There'll be lots of movement here, and I want to rotate more than I did in 2017, let's say, into things like pickle. I bought some pickle today. Pickle token. Look at this thing. Now, yes, they suffered an exploit, hack, what have you. The team is fine. They actually just hired more people. I think they increased their team by a few. Small team. They increased by a few. They are integrating with herein v2 vaults. There's a lot of stuff going on here. The liquidity is great. You can get in and out without really moving the price, which I love. And this level flipped. Looks really bullish. Volume kind of consistently higher now than it has been over the last 30, 40, 50, 60 days. So what is this? That to me is the beginning of something bigger, gradually, then suddenly. So I'm making a bet on Pickle going ahead here. I think it looks really strong. And if you look at it versus ETH, it's actually kind of looking okay too. One thing that does bring me a little bit of pause with a lot of these is that I am trading my ETH away for it. So, I want to keep an eye on Ethereum. If Ethereum goes absolutely bananas, I could be losing versus Ethereum, which is not ideal, as you can see here, right? Holding Pickle through this, you might as well just hold Ethereum. So I am kind of keeping this in mind, but in this case, I'm mostly trading this one versus the USD right here. So we'll see. Okay. I think that's it for, for macro views. The overall, did I even look at Bitcoin? Do we even need to? I think we should. That's a silly question. Bitcoin is ranging. It's consolidating. It might be breaking up it just reclaimed the range EQ here. So that's something to keep an eye on. Again, if I'm holding altcoins trading against Bitcoin, which I am, then I need to be aware of this chart, because if this chart decides to have a party, I will likely want to be back. I actually think this kind of thing could happen. This is what I hope will happen at worst, as far as like Bitcoin rallying, where it's just like, oh, sweep those highs and then more ranging. That would be so sick. I don't really know what'll happen there, obviously, but that's what I'm watching for. But a push to range highs is not that crazy right now, given this kind of clear staircase kind of climbing up on the range EQ. So, big kind of consolidation here over the weekend. Is it going to be a double top? Oh my gosh. Is it going to be, touch and go continuation? That's what I'm looking for as far as, things I'm watching for on Bitcoin. So a couple of key levels, obviously at resistance right now, but the fact that it just came in, got rejected, pushed back up again, came down, and now is still sitting here tells me it's pretty strong. That and the entire narrative around the world being pretty bullish for Bitcoin. So something to keep in mind. All right, guys, let's dive into the charts. There's too many requests here to not spend the majority of the stream on the charts. And it's already 3:30, so we're slightly under majority, but whatever. Let's do this. What do we got? Okay, sushi, must check. One that got away. I never traded sushi. Okay, I lied. I traded it a little bit when they announced the yearn. My God, I bought a fat bag of sushi right here, and I sold it like up here. Made some good money. Had a great trade. Oops. Didn't think long term about it because I don't really know what it does. I know a little more now. Obviously, I've researched it because it mooned like crazy. I wanted to know why. But holy shit, I missed that bag. That was a pretty good bag. Let's see what it's doing. I mean, it's up at some extension levels. I think we need fresh ink on here because that's all old. What can I say, man? This thing is just incredibly bullish. It's insane. It's insane what sushi's doing. I don't even know how to measure this. I guess, get a little chaos. PRZ, that's the best I've got these days because it's pure chaos in the market. And that puts us up here. Measuring this consolidation from the right low to the left high and then giving you sort of a kick out target. So if I had been trading this thing long through here, I would probably be looking to pay myself at $17 purely on a technical level. Came up to $16.50 the other day. Is it going to keep going? I don't see why not. It's crazy. I don't, up one red, up one red, up one red. Like there's no reason to think this is a top, but it is certainly a decent area to say, hey, I just made some money in the market and I'm going to cash some of that in. Always want to pay yourself during market manias, if you want to call that a mania. I'm shy on the word mania right now because I think it is insane and it's crazy and it's wild and it's fun. But it still doesn't quite feel like the absolute face melt, oh my God, where am I insanity of 2017. It's getting there. I mean, it's friggin' awesome. But I don't know that it's quite like toppy stuff. It might be. I might be wrong. But that's why I'm paying myself along the way. So I don't have to be right or wrong. I'm just going to, when the needle pokes the top and it's like, boop, fuck you. I'll have secured enough by then. And I'll watch some drip away and I'll see what happens then. But not too concerned with when top, where top, as much as just gradually paying myself the whole way along. Low time frame chaos. Yeah, Solana we already looked at versus USD. It's in price discovery. No telling how high this thing can go. It is simply a speculator's game at that point. Let's look here. Because, Solana is a $1.7 billion market cap. And I think the scope of what they're building and all the stuff we talked about earlier puts them in a place where they could compete and not like instead of, but, competing along with Ethereum in that sort of monster blockchain. I mean, look at the speed of their transactions, the cost of their transactions. And there's a ton of blockchains that claim to have that. These guys actually have a lot of building going on, grants, money behind it, developers, blah, blah, blah. I think that they have a really good chance to get up big in positioning themselves in the market. So 1.7.5 billion. Well, where does that put them if we want to just play the comparison game? Because Ethereum is 195 billion. So can Solana get 25% of that? That's like $50 billion market cap. That's like a 25, 30x for Solana. You think you can't make those on these billion-dollar coins, but I think some of them you could. And I plan to park some of that money where my mouth is. I do have a position in Solana. Does Sol use Solidity? That's a great question. I'm not a dev, but I bet they, I bet we could learn that on here. They have some pretty cool shit going on. I mean, this is not, we're gonna be an ETH killer. This is just like its own dope ass blockchain that can be used as a layer 2 solution for scaling on Ethereum. Like, I don't know if you call that layer 2. It's more like an L1, like a layer 1, but anyways, Hxro Network is building on there. We talked about that on stream before. So imagine an app or a platform or a network that runs on Solana, super fast, super cheap, tons of transactions, everything on the back end, like CryptoKitties, but without the lag, and then can still transfer value to Ethereum to settle as a settlement layer for financial part, more secure, blah, blah, blah. So they can work together in that sense. Hxro Network being one example. But there's a lot. So anyways, I'm going to talk about Solana a lot because I'm super bullish on it. It's not even my biggest bag. It should be. It's just, it's getting bigger. But it's just one, my thesis suggests it should be my biggest bag because it's probably the one I am most bullish on, but that's not always the way that works out, is it? Holy shit, FTT. Sam, you wild man. This is insane. We talked about this back in the summer when it broke into price discovery. And then it just got really boring. It bored my eyeballs off. I have some. Didn't trade it too aggressively. And then, you blink and you're like, oh, they just acquired. What was it they acquired? Last week, Blockfolio, I think. And they're actually able to now like buy and sell and do some stock stuff in Blockfolio. I'm not sure, but I think they bought Blockfolio. But it was a major acquisition. Don't quote me on that. But they're just doing so many big things. And you can stake it and you get fees off. Like, this is a real use case coin. It's essentially like equity in FTX, which is arguably the fastest moving, most exciting exchange right now. So yeah, not going to be in a rush to call tops in this. Look at this volume. It's not like, ooh, we're going to break to new highs and we're exhausted. It's like a whole new world of bull. Yeah. So do I personally use Hxro? If so, what are your picks? I do personally use Hxro. It's not, it's something I'm learning. Let me pull it up. It's something I'm, I'm not an options guy at heart. So, but it's always up here. I got the tabs open. Ooh. And it looks like I just cashed in. Let's go see. Yes. Okay. So I had an ETH TIX contract. My balance just went up like whatever, $1,300 because I had a $500 ETH TIX contract. Trade history, transaction history. Let's go see. I think it just settled today because it was Wix. Now the other one I have, trade history, just going to dox all my trade history here. But yeah, I'm enjoying Hxro a lot. TIX Wix, finally making options in a way that I can understand them. But what happened here? TIX ETH Wix touched 1,700 by March. We just did it. About 2.7x on $500. Paid out like 863. So that's kind of cool. And my cumulative P&L, look at that. 5 digits, 5 figures. So yeah, I'm enjoying the ride over here. It's like, do I take mass amounts, like majority of my portfolio and put it in here? No, because I haven't developed, 100 trade, 200 trade kind of data setup plan that I like yet. But I'm growing my account organically here. Instead of like pouring money in, I've been growing it. So in fact, I've been withdrawing from it because it's been going so well. So yeah, I think this shit's cool as fuck. I mean, like, let's just look for anyone who's not, ETH Wix. If I just want to place bets essentially, because, I have a history in sports betting. I used to enjoy that. And then I used to hate it. It was just whatever, right? Like sports betting. But this speaks to me in that sense because you get your odds, market probabilities. I love thinking in terms of probability. instead of like delta, theta, vega, all that confusing stuff that I learned in my options course. So yeah, ETH ticks. I don't know if I have any plays set up, but like, you know, I like the March 26th expiry. It gives me lots of time. You know, you can see here I've got March 26th longs essentially on ETH and Bitcoin, 50K and 1700. I think this one should close above easily. You can see it's got a lot of time left on it, so the position value is only about half the initial or eventual payout. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. If you guys want more of this, I can come a little more prepared with some ideas on this one. I'm mostly playing the longer dated stuff with like big fat targets because we're in a bull market, and during this, I think it was January 21st, whatever that Thursday was, that's when I bought these ETH ticks. And it's weird because on that day in my futures account, there's a lot going on. It's like, how low is it going to go? How can I set my stop loss? How do I measure my risk? What the hell's going on? And I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to go buy some long dated ETH ticks out to March because I'm confident that this is a dip I want to buy and I want to put some size on. I want to have some leverage, some X, but I don't want to worry about getting wicked out or any bullshit. And it worked. You know, I came over here. I was just like, no stop loss, whatever. I just lose the total amount of the entry. And that's assuming I don't cash it out, right? If we broke some key levels there, I probably could have even got some of that back. So in that sense, it's just a lot easier. Anyways, little rant. Excited about that. And I just noticed that Wix contract hit. So that's exciting. You sit on those for a few weeks, right? And then you come back and your balance is up. I'm like, ooh, Wix, baby. SNX. Let's check it out. You have to be non-US to use Hxro. So that sucks if you're from the US. But if you're non-US like me, get in there and have some fun. In fact, there's a Telegram specifically focused, not the trading pit, but specifically focused on TixWix. A lot of guys in there sharing some really good ideas. Some pro options traders are in there using it. And again, sharing like what they're doing on the daily contracts. In fact, if I had more time and effort put into that, I think I will, because each time I go in there, I get some pretty good ideas. Like, you know, the new daily opens up and they're like, ooh, you know, I'm getting 1.4 for a no. And that looks good or whatever. And just playing a little copy trade while I learn would probably be good. Not recommending anyone else do that because copy trading is generally lowbrow way to do it. But you got to do what you got to do. And if you manage risk, what's you know, it's all good. So if you guys want into that, I don't know where the link is, but we'll find it for you. You can hit us up in Trading Pit or on Twitter. A lot of activity in that chat and it's free. So let's go back to the charts. We got SNX, synthetics, breaking the new highs. Go figure. So is everything. It all looks good, guys. This is not the time to then be like, oh, I'm going to be an investor today. That's how you become a community member, generally speaking, even if this continues. So let's look, you know, right on this chart as an example. Consolidate, strong breakout, big retest, kind of retracement, probably a pump chaser zone. Continuation, big dip, continuation, damn, continuation, damn, continuation. Wait for the, right? Wherever that comes in, then become a trader, buyer, investor if you want to be, generally speaking. So if I'm in this position, I'm laughing. It's doing great. Nice big blast of volume at the highs to break out sort of a new volume push. Synthetics looks great. Just be careful. Don't turn into a different type of trader just because everything's going up for a week. Not because you still might even make money, but you will shit yourself when that pullback comes. And instead of benefiting from that pullback, you will in fact probably hurt yourself selling it, whatever. I don't know. My 2 cents. DHT. Let's check it out. I'm guessing it is not this. D-Hedge DAO. OKX. Huobi. Maybe it's a Uniswap coin. I don't really know, but DHT looks good. Looks good. Looks great. Let's go see what the chaos says. Chaos level from the last consolidation is pointing to $6.32. That's an area where I would pay myself if I was trading from here, because at that point it's probably vertical and when those cooldowns come, those vertical areas always look so good in retrospect as an area for taking profit. We could go on a moon run, and everything that I'm talking about is bullshit. Full disclosure. Pickle, what was I going to look at? Oh my God, DexT. We got to pull DexT up. Just in price discovery, going absolutely bananas. And I am proud to say this is one that we spotted on stream. I believe it was January 22nd. It was right here. Just gave its bullish throwback and had bounced a little bit. And I remember just thinking, how is this thing not mooned yet? Everyone uses DEX tools. And to access it, you need, I think, 20,000 DEXT tokens. And everyone, you know, you can use the free version. I know a lot of people who do. But Uniswap, this thing should be correlated to Uniswap. And Uniswap's been going bananas. So at that point, it was like, really? How is this not insanely bullish? It looks hungry. So I was tweeting about that last night because this is cool. And it kind of came in to some levels. Kind of came in there. So we've hit that chaos level, which when I wrote it up at the time looked crazy. Just like a lot of the ones I'm writing up today, maybe you're saying, wow, that's pretty high up. At the time it looked a little crazy, but look, there it is. Whoop, there it is. So we're coming into this environment where tons of these kinds of levels are hitting. And, you know, I think down here, if I was buying this thing and then I said, oh, if I could only get up there, that'd be sick. It would be such a great trade. I'm going to pay myself. Well, I can't change my tune now. So I'm paying myself a lot this weekend. I still have some bags. Going to go back to the requests in just a moment. I want to look at my bags for a sec. InFi. Still think this one looks really strong. Coming off the bottom. You know, the only knock on this one, slight knock, is the lack of chart history, you know? If this had been like, I don't think it needs to have more chart history to do well, but like if this had happened, you know, for longer and then had a breakout retest, I'd be like, holy fuck, that's even more bullish. The fact that it sort of just came out and had one and then slow and then up and up and up, you know, is it ready to really go ham, or does it need to shake out some more of those pre-sellers? Because that's really what's going on here, right? When you get these like slow, meandering, bottomy sort of things, it's new buyers stepping in, old pre-sellers, you know, thinking I'm going to get out because I'm in great profit, new buyers stepping in, and it's just this game. And then once everyone's positioned and those who want to sell for that, whatever gain it is on pre-sale, are out, and enough new buyers have built big positions, then you get that demand supply flip and we see takeoff. So InFi just looks really strong though. It's, you know, it's micro, it's Polkadot, blah, blah, blah. I'm interested. They're building on Polkadot. I don't think they're like associated directly with Polkadot. So keep that in mind. What I need to see though is more volume. This is nice. Looks like a lot of sell. What I want to see is like a nice big buy come in to give me more confidence. But for now, that's a dip, and they are regularly for buying. Polka cover is like a clone of that, not literally, but like within 2 weeks, you get two insurance plays that are both around 2 to 3 mil market cap popping up that are talking about building on Polkadot, and they're both like showing the same patterns. So I'm actually invested in both right now, or trading both. So I feel like I'm going to either win both or lose both. I don't see one just suddenly being differentiated, but we'll see. Kind of a 2x leverage position, I guess. What was I just going to look at? Damn it. I lost it. Brain fart. ONX. I know some people were asking about that. Volume insanity. This is the anchor airdrop from basically Christmas. Did not perform well out of the gates, but if you looked away, you missed a really nice breakout retest. We caught up to this thing on stream somewhere around 123 right here after the initial breakout. And that free position that I took somewhere through this has been treating me really well. I'm just not looking at it, not touching it. ONX is looking good. If anything, I'd like to buy more through this consolidation. We'll see. Nord, that's what I wanted to look at. Starting to break up a little today out of this consolidation. I'm officially in profit. I kept fucking around on this thing, not doing very well with when to buy. So after the Scott Melker stream, I got a little, then I sold bot. Anyways, I was like weirdly break even through this and even down a little bit. And I was like, damn it. So looks like I might actually be in profit on Nord, and short term wasn't too worried about it, but it's the things I look at sometimes. This thing just looks good. Looks like it wants to go higher. Big buys coming in. This is what I just said I want to see on InFi. We're seeing it on Nord, and now some new bigger buys coming in. Small, big. So is this going to break up? I'm betting yes. Yop looks delicious. And it's so nutritious. Give me yop, me mama. Yop, me mama. If you were around in the 90s or whatever it was, 2000s, you'll remember that commercial. Look at this thing. I mean, I talk about this one a lot. I was a seed investor, but that's not the point. The point is they've got real investments coming in from London. Big legacy guys that are pumped on this, on calls like, how do I use Uniswap? What the hell? Okay, 50 ETH. I just click here, and and you're just getting these apes coming in that are just like peanuts to them. They're just like throwing investment money into this, and I think that's a really strong bid from a really good crowd, and I think that's going to be contagious. We already saw Pure's Investments, who was their one of their other seed investors. Look what happened to their stock when they invested in this thing. Look at this. Here's the day that the announcement was made. I mean, already this chart just looks so good. As far as like, holy shit, that's a good looking chart. And then right here, the investment into Yop was announced, $200,000. And like, look how they've performed since. Their stock price is soaring. So you don't think other investors, other people in their circles want a piece? Good luck with that thesis. So Billy, really bullish on Yop. It's a yield optimization protocol, basically a mobile app where you can be parking your crypto, so like a wallet, and then using it from that wallet directly into yield farms, getting a data marketplace where I can basically see all the different APYs, jump in, jump out, all kinds of cool features. I won't get too deep into it, but this chart just looks like sex. Good sex too, not like that weird, oh, wake up the next morning like, what did I do? Not one of those sexes. The good stuff. Looks hot. Okay, that got weird. Let's go look at the rest. What do we got here on the requests? ONT. I spotted. Let's go see ONT. ONT USDT. Ooh. Tried trading this one back here. I think it was like here. I don't know. I did try trading it back here. I got stopped out. Wah. But look at the rising volume. I remember a tweet from these guys. I think that's why I tried trading it. It was like, this pump chaser zone I was trying to trade because they made an announcement that basically said, we're going to be DeFi, we're going to be Oracle, we're going to be a swap, and something like that. Polkadot, or I don't know. But I forget. It's been months. But this looks good, guys. This looks good. This is what you want to see. You want to see a significant and persistent rise in buy volume, because typically the longer that happens before a major breakout, then the big breakout comes and you Bob's your uncle, right? So, yeah, off the bottom, pump chaser zone and go. It's looking good, guys. Kind of want some. Chris, yeah, I'm glad you like that. It's making me laugh when you laugh. Yes. Wonder if anyone can use my Hxro Moonwreck losses on my taxes. That's a really good question, Osiris. I think anything you lose in the market, you can write off as tax losses. I do. I had a shitty ICO in 2018 that blew like, $10,000, something like that. Ridiculous. Yeah, I wrote that off. I mean, I haven't been audited. So if they come, I'll show them the transaction where I bought it and the transaction where I sold it, and they'll say, okay, that's a loss. So I think if you just have those kinds of documents and then just claim whatever you want, that's the thing with taxes, right? You can claim whatever you want. It's an honor system. You just want to be ready when they come back and audit you in any time in the next 7 years. I can't imagine dodging taxes. Like, I get it. People do it, but like, how do you sleep, bro? 7 years? You're just like, Is they going to come get me? They charge me a 50% penalty plus 5% interest for the entire time that it was owed and throw me in jail. I just don't fuck with that, man. If life's good, pay your tax. That's my 2 cents. What's, I don't know. Won't get into that. That's a political discussion. No need for that around here. Let's go USD, OMG, Omisego, coming into my level. That looks pretty good. Like pinged my fib extension today after just bubbling out of this trend line and then taken off. So pretty exciting. OMG likes to go ridiculous ham when it goes, like this. This is the Tether announcement. So yeah, I mean, TP1 for me easily right here just because that's how I trade. But is that the top for OMG? Probably not. On the whole, local maybe, but probably not like end of 2021. It's like, whoa, man, that was the top. That's crazy. This is interesting. Little Chaos 1, Chaos 2 confluence on 2 differently drawn levels. Because that's the weird thing about Chaos levels. You can kind of draw them from a bunch of different little consolidations. So that's maybe a more appropriate higher time frame target. And that would be like $16. That's like 3x from here. I got a long OMG. But, I don't buy here after everyone's talking about it. I would be, been interested in OMG through the $3 and $4 range. And not today as far as like taking new positions, even though if I had to bet $100 the end of the year, this level will get touched. And I was getting paid 3 to 1, which is roughly what that is, 3x. Like I'd probably throw 100 on that, take that bet, saying yes, it will hit that by the end of the year, fully being aware that I might lose my $100. Wouldn't throw 10,000 on it if that makes any difference. Anyways, ONT targets, please. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Well, can't say where you should sell, but I'll show you where some. Wow. Okay. This thing, look at this. This actually just gets juicier. Because this thing is like so many things are in price discovery versus USD. This thing is still just totally bottomed out. And on the weekly, look at that. I mean, do we have like a wedge going on here? This kind of thing. Whoops. Where it's like Wedgington Bullsworth. Yeah, whatever. It's a trend line flip. Bullish breakout here. Retest. My God, this looks really good actually. Like on a higher time frame, park a little, wait for the year kind of vibe. This is actually something that's right in my wheelhouse because all I need, as I always say, is a double. Why does it do that? Give me the thing I clicked on. All I need is the double, which suddenly is, it's pretty high, but yeah, this thing's barely moved yet. My God, might have to go take a look at ONT. John Johnson, right? ONT on our list, sir. So for targets, where would I be targeting if I went and picked some up today? Well, there's your bigger consolidation chaos kick out 344. That's, a nice, like they always look ridiculous, right? But that's the kind of high time frame OMG F me type rally might be where you take it. Another way you could draw that up on the weekly is here with a fib extension. So there's a couple ideas, 273, 344, high time frame. Very important to understand that. This is not a tomorrow target or a next month target. This is like a, holy shit, we had a rally, and then there was a big bear market, and then there was a rally. There's a bear market and a rally. And I say that facetiously because those are pullbacks, not bear markets, but yeah. So that kind of thing, if this thing's going to be a big FU bull and join the party, sure. Hope that helps. What's the market cap right now? It's getting up there, $500 million, not too crazy. It's Chinese. I think the government even the came out with some kind of thing that basically said, we're going to support this one. Oh, it's saying dot ecosystem. That makes it more exciting. 74 rank. Yeah, I mean, it's a strong one. It's up there. One of those ones where, yeah, a bigger position, longer term, maybe not a crazy idea. Airswap pulling back. after hitting this area. So, instantly somebody who set some take profits into this fib extension zone are up a little bit based on not. Carolus from Facebook requested ADA. Okay, welcome. Good to have you guys over on Facebook watching. Love that. Let's see what ADA says. Oh, what happened? Oh, okay. No, I'm crazy. I was like, holy shit. I was looking at ADA here, and I thought that was that chart. And I was like, really? That's crazy. I had a long on it. I don't know why, but I closed it. I forget what it was. Wanted to buy something else. There's only so many things you can long. And I figured, you know what it was? It was kind of like, okay, I can get in on this bullish retest here. But then what's my target? See, I even had it sold half on a double, sold all in a double. Like I had it all set up, but then I closed it too long. What was a longing? Oh, bloody hell. I don't know. Serum. I think I was buying more serum, some other stuff that I felt like maybe had some more X's. Anyways, yeah, ADA just looks good. Looks really good here. It's at a pretty big resistance. Let's not forget this. When it launched in late 2017, like that was absolute insanity. It's since just come in and put this big meandering bottom formation. I imagine that this level will break. It would be strange. Don't know when that'll happen. Could be now, could be this week, could be next month, could roll over and then do it. But that level seems like it will probably break. And in that case, you can do some pretty crazy shit high time frame. Let's just do it on the weekly though. If we're going to go high time frame, let's go high time frame. Because that's really probably one of the better ones to trade off right now. If I'm trying to look for entries, I trade on the 4 hour, the 1 hour. But if I'm looking for like high time frame targets for the year, probably want to get those weeklies out and just see where are we in the grander scheme of things. Chaos is pretty explosive up here. If you drop that whole sort of range from the bottom, that doesn't seem that crazy to me anymore. And that's also, again, why I'm like, are we really at a top here? Should I really be taking all my money out of the market? Like, definitely paying myself, but not thinking that we not thinking we won't see this. I think we'll see stuff like this. I do. For what it's worth. Who cares what I think? Predictions are useless. Trade setups, blah, blah, blah. But I do think these kinds of targets will be coming in, and it'll be like, man, remember back in January, back in February, when we were thinking it was like this crazy bull market, and it was just this. That's it for ADA. I mean, let's go see. I mean, it's probably up in the short RLZ. Oh, look at that. Don't you just love fibs? Who did that? Who built the market so that the perfect 618 throwback, which is a great place to be paying yourself on these interrange trades, would also align perfectly to within like 12, 14 sats of the chaos level. Holy shit. I love that shit. Do you guys see that? Ugh. So yeah, there's a pay me target on ADA that I would take every single time if it gets up there. It's not a guarantee, etc. But yeah. Okay. Oh, man, I get excited when there's confluence like that. I mean, look at that. Just out in the middle of nowhere. Big crazy chaos target. And it's like, oh, let's draw the short reload zone. Boom. Mountain Man. 618. Let's go. Doge. Okay. Let's go back. Make sure I'm not like skipping old requests who have been patiently waiting just because a new one came in. I got to try to get some order here. Producer's doing a great job of painting me a list. So I appreciate that. Extensions. Yeah, this thing's long gone. What's next? Zilika. Where? I guess this would be a chaos here. Oh, and lo and behold, it's where we're stopping. I don't think we're going to stop for good, but again, so, live action examples of, whoa, chaos, resistance out of nowhere. What the hell happened? It's the chaos level. Chaos ensues. Now for the next extension, we're looking pretty explosive, leg up. If it does, if we are in this big crazy bull, if we are going to continue, big volume on the new high tells me that's not necessarily the top. That's a weekly. Holy shit. Let's go look at the daily. Yeah, this thing looks good. Looks like it's hungry for another leg. And here's the thing. Why you can see that, or why I say that, maybe we should look at a 4 hour, get a little more detail. Look at this. So you have this slow, I should draw this off, candle body highs, just to be as exact as possible. So candle body high, use magnets, extend, then you get a real trend line, and it doesn't have to fit perfectly. It shouldn't. They don't always, right? Like right here, break up, bounce off, break up, bounce down. This is the most legit trend line I can draw on here. And it fits well enough, right? So, but look, breakout on volume. That's like the market announcing, like, I'm going to be a bull right here. All this uncertainty. What's going to happen? Consolidate. And then it's like, bloop, breakout. And so this retest becomes a very attractive buying opportunity because you've already seen the market announce that it's going to be a bull. And it's like going to be, right? You just, high probability, always high probability, not guarantee. So this comes in, you're back on this trend line, bullish retest. Suddenly it's like, that's attractive. And now we're moving. And typically when you have a big FU rally on high volume with no real signs of divergence at the top, and then a big long consolidation, and then a breakout, you're continuing. And when you're continuing, you're not continuing to like here, you're continuing to new price discovery. Typically. Keep that in mind. So interesting to see that, and sort of a consistent increase in volume here since the breakout. Do you see that? Market makers came back on, whoever it is, whatever, low, breakout, and now we've got generally trending up volume. So really strong look from Zilliqa. So that's cool. Power to the Zill traders. I wish you all the best. What's chaos target? What indicator is that? Yeah, it's okay. So I love it. I use it all the time, and I'm so bad at teaching it, but I'll just explain. It's basically just a fib with a 4669 and an 877. And you can add this on as well if you want to see the points where you're drawing it. It sucks because you can't really find it on Google, and I don't know enough to teach it. So otherwise we would just make a labs video. We have the links somewhere. It's just basically this like chaos theory, bunnies, breeding, population, N1. It's all this crazy math. It's chaos stuff. And basically the idea is like the model breaks down after a certain point and chaos ensues. And somehow a brilliant trader who I know and work with named Brian Beamish at TRI, he turned that video, or somebody there turned that video into a fib. And now we use it to basically measure the explosive power or extrapolation we could expect to see out of a consolidation. And so that's it. This is what I know. Piss poor explanation overall, but chaos theory, trading, things you can try to Google on YouTube. I will try to find the YouTube videos that I originally watched. They're not about trading at all. And they're frankly pretty math heavy and boring, actually. I went and finally watched them. I was like, whoa, what the hell is this? Give me a chart. But anyways, so for better or worse, it's probably less important exactly how and what they are as much as maybe how to apply them. And it's basically, you have a consolidation, you look for the low to the right just before the breakout, draw it back to the midpoint, and then have that 4669, 877, and then you get a couple levels. And it just gives you these kind of distant, far out there targets that you can suddenly hunt. And I wouldn't bet the house on any of this kind of crap as much as like I just draw them on. And so when we're way off in the abyss, I'm like, oh, there's actually a level here. I can pay myself. If nothing else, it gives me a model through which to take some profits. And what's really interesting, I think, was Atom. Was it Atom that I used it actually for an entry? Oh, no. I think I used it for an entry once. Somebody mentioned it to me. I was like, oh, cool. I'm going to try this. Yeah, look at this. So the same kind of thing working the other way, because fibs are crazy, right here, right? So instead of like from the right shoulder to the midpoint, it's like from the top down to this, capturing this little consolidation, kicks out a chaos level, bearish chaos PRZ, I called it. And look at that, right where the bottom came in. So I got long, bullish divergence, things looking up, volume rising. That's why I got long on Cosmos down here. I was like, fuck it, this looks ready for a reversal. And so I'll be using these a lot more for that during bear trends, which we're not in. But bearish chaos PRZ, very cool. Fascinating stuff. Doesn't always work, right? In this case, it just happened to smack. So like most TI, doesn't always work, doesn't have to always work. Has to work more often than it doesn't, or at least pay you more when it does work than when it doesn't, if it's going to lose more often than win. All right, SNX algo, we covered FTT, Doge. Jesus. Okay, let's get to it, guys. We are running a little late, and I do have to get to an appointment. It's 4:13. We're going to cap it at a 4:20 today. Let's go turbo. Algo, waking up. Big time POS network, speedy, all kinds of cool shit coming out of Algo. I wish I looked into it more. This was gross. And I'm so lucky because I was balls long on Algo, on margin, on Binance, and I closed it somewhere through here, which I almost regretted because now it's rallying. But then I realized when I look back that I would have got liquidated unless my stop triggered, which very easily could have just skipped because it's a limit stop and it was only a few sats wide. This was a gross book clearing liquidation on Binance BTC pair. And after something like that, you can typically expect some decent continuation if everything else looks bullish, which it does, and we're seeing it. So I guess my only mistake here, I got lucky closing that position before this happened, but my mistake here is that I perhaps didn't aggressively go and long it right after that. Because I was looking right at it, right here. I was looking right here on this day. I was like, holy shit, that wick. Oh man, I'm bullish on Algo. What the hell? I'm too fucking scared to buy here. Even though it was my pump chaser zone. Right in the pump chaser zone. So I do semi-regret that. I was focusing on some other things that day, and I just thought, Oh, that's what it was. It was 29th. This is the weekend I was moving. And I was like, oh, man, that's my zone, but I shouldn't be trading. I got to focus on boxes. So, costly move. No big deal. Life is good. We'll move on. I do own some Algo. It's just not the second largest holding in my portfolio anymore. Maybe it will be again someday soon if it just moons that amount that I have into something else. Let me just like autopiloting fib extensions on. Well, yeah, we're kind of up into that, fib extension area on Cream. Cream is one that I was really excited about. Bought some, traded some, don't hold any anymore, but probably should have. I was picking it up around 75 after the Wu-Tang video came out, wherever that was. And I was just kind of holding it through this. And I think through this, a lot of my positions, I just rolled into other ones because other ones were moving and these weren't. And then never came back. Cream is dope. I really like Cream. I like their UI. Working, obviously partnering with Wi-Fi. It's not bad. And then Wu-Tang endorsement. Like, yeah, buddy. Probably paid, but whatever. DNT mooning. Oh, shit. Live on the air. Let's go see District OX. Well, yeah. Looking ripe for continuation. Let's see. What would an extension look like? As far as like, wow. Yeah. A lot of opportunity in the market right now. It's hot. And so I guess to wrap today, I should say that, well, careful rotating too aggressively. I think if I'm in like a slow moving bag like this and I'm going to go chase something that just broke out, like, I don't know. I mean, trade however you like, but I'm really trying to concentrate as much as I can into positions that I think are strong bets to move and not get too caught up in the day-to-day leaderboards on Binance, which will drive you crazy. So, some of my holdings that I'm excited about, YOP. Mahadao, I was in the private sale, so I get some unlocks once in a while. I think once a month or something. Pretty bullish on that one. DexT. I mean, look, the market cap is still sub 50 mil, but I can't buy this, and I could never suggest anyone else should. But this is like a sick chart. I mean, this thing, holy shit. We talked about it back here on the stream, traded it, but like, I can't get a new position here. Nord, bullish on. Looks like it's ready to go. Kudos, bullish on. Not sure when it's ready to go, but this kind of pattern typically excites me. So I won't bother, long forming my fib, but it's in the reload zone. Not my most exciting idea, but I have some and I'm not selling it here. I'm going to wait and see what kind of breakout I can get. What else? UFT, Unilend, a little bit of an unsung hero in the DeFi space. Broke out on volume, came in, retested. Ooh, okay, this is one that's actionable, I think, for me, because what you have here, we'll wrap here today after Unilend maybe. I say that all the time, and then we do a couple more, but let's just see. Because look, okay, let me quarterback this thing because this is one I've been watching closely. Why is that there? There we go. So, high time frame, breaking out, looking really nice. Triple rejection, boom, reload zone, load up. Breakout on volume, right? So nice new buy volume coming in. The peak there, that's like some heavy selling. That was a big dump. Who the hell did that? But they clearly don't like money because this thing was ready to go. They decided to cut it early. But, you got a throwback level here. So if there was ever a time, through all this, it's like, well, I don't know what's going on. Well, now you do. It's breaking out. Oh my God, it's even giving us a nice entry. Like, that's the kind of chart, that's the kind of setup that I like to trade. So Unilend, UFT, bringing DeFi to all ERC20 tokens. We just got to solve these fees, man, because all of these protocols are going to struggle tremendously if people are just priced out, which I think most of us are right now. I don't even like trading. You'd have to buy $10,000 worth of something to make a $100 fee feel worth it. Still a 1% fee. It's high. So it is the month of the sex, perhaps. CEX, centralized exchange. Suddenly my new favorite thing again. Envious of those cheap, fast fees. So anyways, Adam breaking the new highs. We got to cut, guys. Oh my God. Doge. Okay, last one, because I kept seeing it up there and I totally forgot to get to it. And it's our favorite meme coin ever. Doge, I say. Oh my God. Oh my God. Doge. I don't even know what to do with this thing. Wow. I don't know. Fuck, man. Who's buying this? Who? I've never bought Doge in my life. That's a lie. I traded it once somewhere to somewhere, but I didn't get in on this. Sad face me. I don't know how you chart that, though. It's kind of dog coin. No, we need Doge coin. Bit of a loss for, what to say charting wise. Except for that I would expect some consolidation here. If I had to be a guesser, breakout here, January 2nd, didn't really go on until January 22nd. Massive pump here. Elon Musk doing God's work for the Doge community. Just basically relentlessly hyping this coin, which I think is probably my favorite thing on the internet this month. Is watching Elon Musk pump the memeiest coin ever. This to me smells like continued consolidation for a little bit. But I hear that Doge likes to pump, so we'll see. It's not the kind of trade and the kind of coin and the kind of situation I like to get involved in because I find it's a little too unpredictable. Personally, even though I know a lot of people here were like, dude, it's actually so predictable. It's going to moon. Sad face me. Didn't trade that one, but yeah. Gene Simmons. Saw him tweeting last weekend, I think it was. Love that. So go bought a little Doge, bought some ETH, bought some others. I read his tweets in what I think is his voice. I don't really know him well, but I feel like that's a thing. We'll see. But he did tweet about some crypto stuff. So that's dope. Look, is it Fib Pong? I don't know. Well, let's see. God, where's my proper fibs? Let's get some Fib Pongs out. Fib, no fib, 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 fib. Like, it's trending up a little bit here, actually, post pump with some volume coming in. So I guess I can comment on it. Yeah. Doesn't look terrible here. As far as like, well, breakout, retest, go. I don't know. There's so many assets, so many things with use cases that are more attractive to me. And that's not to be a hater. I think it's super fun that people are making a killing on Doge if they are. I think that's fun, but I don't really trade it. So don't ask again. Just kidding. We can chart the shit out of it. Sometimes when you have a coin like this with no real fundamentals other than maybe it is speedy and it's around and it's liquid, so maybe there is some value there. But when you have that kind of coin, I find sometimes they actually do respond even better to TA because that's all they've got. So there's that. It's pretty dope. Okay, we're back to the studio. Hey, guys. So I might have a green screen next week. It's sitting over there in the corner. I've just got to find places where I can screw it into the top, and then I'll actually be back in the studio more officially. Thank you guys so much for coming to hang out today on this beautiful Friday afternoon. If you liked what you saw, you can hit us up with a like and a sub. Appreciate that kind of stuff. It's like paying us, but it's free. And that's about it for today, guys. We got tons of action. Keep an eye out on the Monday CME launch of Ethereum futures. Mark my words, that will have an effect on the market, good or bad. It is going to cause a stir, if not anything else but the news. So let's just hope they all go balls to the walls along and pump our bags. That's all we can really hope for. Other than that, I might take a little bit of risk off the table this weekend just so I can enjoy the launch of that Monday thing without really thinking about it. And then, find some nice low range charts that I can pick up with the profits that I took this weekend. So don't be surprised if I talk about some heavy profit taking. And when I say heavy, I'm thinking 20%, maybe 30% off the table so that I can just say I did, pay myself, go to sleep at night, say I made some money today, and then, buy some dips if they come and do something else with it if they don't. Stables, you can earn APYs on, all that fun stuff. So anyways, guys, have a wonderful weekend. And whatever you do, play from a position of strength. Take care. Thanks for joining us.